An old garden gate is the next subject for our card, and for this I'm going to use a wax resist to get the effect of the old planks of wood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub it down the right hand side as best as I can of each plank. It won't be exact, but we'll see how we go. Then I'm going to mix, I've got a very pale creamy colour. Let me rub out a little bit more of the pencil marks. There we go. It's going to be an old stone brick wall with ivy growing all round it. So what I'm doing here, this pale colour, is in effect, let's put my timer on, going to be the mortar in between the stones. Must have got some of the resist on there. Over there. Right. What I'm going to do next is the green for the plant, whatever sort of plant you want. I'll leave it up to you. There's a sort of a greeny colour. I'm just going to dab off the excess so I can do this. And remember, dabbing off the excess gives you a nice sort of mottledy effect. And when you're painting something that's natural, that's fine. Right, let's have some green blobs, which I can build the leaves out of. I'm going to just add a little bit of cadmium yellow just to brighten that up a little bit, so it's not all the same. Let's put a bit down there as well. And we'll drop bits in there too, because we're going to have it growing up out of the ground of that side. And let's have some grass. Let's make that a path in there. And again, we'll put this creamy colour. I must have got the resist on there, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so we've got that bit. Now I'm going to do the planks of the gate while that is drying out a bit. And I'm going to use raw umber. And I just go over the whole lot. I don't have to do each plank. And this is the first layer of the raw umber. Let's get a little bit more paint. And we can add more on that and refine it and make a bit more fuss of it as we go. Okay, now I'm going to just dab off a bit on the green, and I want to put some of the stones in now. So I've mixed a sort of orangey, an ochre, slightly ochre colour. Let's press this down, and here's the main keystone at the top. Then we've got another stone round there. Then I'm going to miss one because these are different colours. I'm just going to go around putting some of the blocks in. You can make your stones whatever shade you like. I'm leaving gaps because we want this sort of mortar effect to show through. So that's one shade of stone. I'm now going to just add a little bit of ultramarine to that to give us a grey sort of colour. Well, it's not really grey, is it? But never mind. And we'll just put some other stones in here. Again, I'm using this number 7 brush, which has a very nice point on it. Only a cheap brush. Don't get hung up on your brushes. Another one there, let's put one in there, little stone in there. Let's have some a bit more sort of slaty colour. You know what sort of stones you have round where you live, I expect. And of course you might not have old gates like this. Having just come back from a trip to England and visiting some old properties and gardens, there are a lot of these sort of gates into old gardens. There we are, just add those up. Right, okay. Now what I'm going to do now is go back to the green, the ivy or whatever it is that is growing over the gate, and I'm going to put in a sort of a stem. And linking some of these leaves, which I will go back to accentuate. Oops, one too thick there. Then we can come back and put some more leaves. So you've got the vague impression of the green, as I've shown on lots of things, just to get the mass of foliage, and then you can put in some leaf shapes. And it gives the impression to the viewer what they're looking at. I'm working quite quickly because I have this time constraint on me, but of course you can take your time if you have the time to do that. Okay, now I'm going to come back to the gate because I want some more colour on that gate. We're going to have the light coming that way, so let's put a darker line down the left side, as it were, just to show the division, that it's made up of planks of wood. And of course these stones here, you would also see the underneath, so we need to just put a little bit of, oops, that's run into there, never mind, bit of the colour under there. Now we want some hinges, so I've gone to good old Payne's grey just to block some hinges in, and a bar to indicate a sort of catch. We're struggling with the resist there, but it doesn't matter. What I'm going to do now is, while I've got that Payne's grey on my brush, is I'm going to run a shadow on that side. Sorry, the light's coming that way, isn't it? Get that right. But it doesn't matter really, it's just to give you an idea of what's going on here. Let's have some more, let's have some green bits of grass coming up here. And let us just put a little bit of a shadow around some of these stones. Just sort of running underneath, just to give an idea of their three-dimensional properties. This is awfully good for you to just sort of relax and paint quickly and not worry too much about the outcome. Let's get a bit of shadow underneath there. And we'll just put a few more leaves in. And hopefully anybody can see that that is a little garden gate. So there you go, there's another one, a little garden gate. Again, the tracing and the painting will be posted in the resource. I'm just giving you the gate and the few stones. You can make those up yourself, but remember the order of work. You've got to keep some space for getting some of your green on, although the green is a dominant colour, so it would cover up a lot of those stones. But it's just a fun little piece, and if you wanted to, you could take your time a bit more about it and embellish it a little bit more.